Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here. And today's class we're going to continue with our maths and content with popular demand. What we're going to go through is the equation of a circle. So with that, let's get started. All right, so here we are, okay? And let's try this question here, okay? So I have the endpoints of the diameter of a circle are given. So I'm going to put example. Okay, so we're given P, and point P is -3 and 5. Okay, and then I'm also given point N, okay, which is going to be 9 and 7, okay? So part A is basically you're going to determine the coordinates of the center of the circle, okay? So these 2 points are basically making up the diameter, okay, of the circle. And again, if you're not sure, I have my circle, and these 2 points are kind of like the endpoints, okay, of the circle. The diameter again is just going through the center of the circle here, okay? So when you're looking for the center of the circle, what I'm actually looking for is basically the midpoint. Okay, let's put midpoint M like this, okay? Again, if you need to draw it out, okay, I would maybe just draw a quick sketch, okay, if you think you're more of a visual person. Okay, so we're putting capital M for the midpoints for Pn. I'm going to write out the equation. So x1 plus x2 over 2. y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay? And again, I'm just going to label really fast. So x1, y1. This is the second point. So it's x2, y2. Okay, I'm going to add the points together. So it's -3 plus 9 divided by 2. And the second one will be y plus 7 divided by 2. Okay, so just like this. Okay, and again, if you feel like you're not sure, okay, in terms of the negative sign, okay, I would just make sure I put it in a calculator. Okay, I'm going to just do one step in between here, okay? So you're doing -3 plus 9, 6 over 2, like this. And then you're doing 5 plus 7, so 12 over 2. Okay? And I'm just going to reduce that. So we're doing 6 divided by 2, so 3. And then 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Okay, and this is the midpoint. If you did actually sketch out these 2 points, okay, you'll note that the midpoint we get will be very accurate, okay, in this case. Okay, secondly, let's try part B. It says to find the radius, okay, of the circle. So let me write that down so we know what we're solving for. Okay, so radius of the circle. Okay, so this right here, okay, is the center. Okay, that's what center of the circle. Okay, and what we're going to do is use that point. Okay, and so maybe let's just write, like, say this is P and N so we can see it visually. Okay, I can use either of these points. I can use P or N, but I have to use M, okay, as the center of the circle. Okay, what we're going to do is we're looking for the radius of the circle, okay, and the radius is just going halfway, okay, from the center to the end. So let's use point P. I'm going to write it out here, okay, and I'm going to use point M, which is my center. We calculated that in part A, which is 3 and 6. Okay, one more time, I'm just going to label x1, y1 as the first point, x2, y2 as the second point. Again, I always make sure I label it, okay, because if you don't, you might end up getting the wrong answer, okay? What we're going to do is put it into the distance formula. So let's just write PM as a distance. Okay, or maybe just a D for distance, okay? However your teacher denotes it, that's how you should be writing it, okay? So I'm going to write the formula. So x2 minus x1 squared and y2 minus y1 squared, okay? And again, that's why I'm labeling it right here, okay? So a lot of students are making really small mistakes when they plug in the values into the formula. I don't want marks taken off here, okay? So we're going to do square root. Okay, the x2 is 3 minus x1. So 3 minus -3 double bracket that, okay, and make sure you square it. And on the second, in the second bracket will be 6 minus 5 squared. Okay, again, if you're good with using the length formula, you can skip a few steps here if you like. If you're not, I would do some extra steps, okay? So this just becomes 3 plus 3, which is 6 squared. 6 minus 5 is 1, so 1 squared, okay? So just like this. Okay, I'm doing extra steps just so everyone can see that, okay? So this becomes 6 squared, 36 plus 1, which is square root 37, okay? And this is basically the radius of the circle, okay? Because I use the length formula here, okay? If you want, okay, I could have also actually, okay, used the values for P and N, okay? And put that into the length formula. That would give me the diameter. And then I'd have to divide it by 2, which would give me the radius, okay? However, in this case, I already have the center of the circle. So I just used the center of the circle and one of the endpoints here, okay, to find the radius. Are there any questions so far? That looks good, okay? And let's move to part C. So part C says to determine, let's write out what we're doing. The equation of the circle. So say I'm finding the equation of the circle now. So remember the equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, okay? And what we found here is basically the radius, okay? And we got square root 37. And we're just going to plug that into our equation. So x squared plus y squared equals square root 37 squared. Okay, everyone see that? Okay, if you're not sure, okay, what happens is this just cancels out, okay? I have the square root sign, okay? And then I have the squared sign. And what this equation becomes is x squared plus y squared equals to 37, okay? And this is actually my final equation. Okay, remember when you're using this general form of the equation, the center of the circle is assumed to be at the origin. It's at 0, 0. Okay, all you need to do is don't forget to square the actual radius here. Okay, and that will give you your final answer. Okay, is everyone good there? Okay, so that looks good. Okay, let's do one more question here. All right, let's do it on the next page here. Okay, so it says determine the equation for the circle. And I'm going to write it here. Okay, so we're looking for the equation of the circle that has a diameter with these points. Okay, so let's write diameter so everyone can see it. Okay, the point is A, which is -4 and 3. Okay, as well as point B, which is given to be 4 and -3. Okay, make sure you're watching the signs, okay, as you do the question. So this is the diameter, okay? And what we can do is we're looking for the equation, okay, of this line. Okay, or the equation of the diameter. Okay, so what we'll do is put it into the formula for slope. Okay, let's put slope of the line. Okay, remember when you're denoting the slope, it has to be the small m. Okay, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, I'm going to label my 2 points. This is the first point, x1, y1. And the second point is x2, y2. Okay, again, watch the negative signs here. Okay, so we're doing y2, which is -3, minus y1, which is 3. Okay, so it's -3 minus 3 over x2 minus x1. x2 is 4 minus x1, which is -4. Okay, I have to make sure I write the negative sign 2 times here. On the top, it's -6. Okay, and on the bottom, it becomes 4 plus 4, which is equal to 8. Okay, don't stop there. Make sure you do reduce, okay, the value of the slope here. And what we're going to do is just divide it by 2. So it becomes negative 3 over 4. Okay, and this is the value of my slope here. So remember, as soon as it asks you for the equation, even though it says the equation for the circle here, okay, you could do the slope of the line, okay. What we're looking for is the equation of the circle. This is just to show you how to find the slope, okay, of the actual line. Okay, and then we will look at also the equation of a circle. Okay, if it says find the equation of this diameter, okay, let's look at that first. Okay, this is if you're looking for the diameter and the actual equation of the diameter. I would find the slope. Okay, and then I can also just sub it into the y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's do let's write it here actually. Okay, so equation of the diameter. Okay, and I do want to just show this to you, okay, because this is actually there are questions where you have to solve for the chord, okay, of the circle and find the equation. So this is actually how you would do it. Okay, so let's plug this into, again, the y equals mx plus b. Okay, I'm going to plug in my value of m here, which is negative 3 over 4x plus b. And then you can take one of these values. Let's take point A here, okay? So let me write point A is negative 4 and 3. All right. And what we're going to do is just plug it into this value for x and y, okay? So I'm going to put x and then y here. Okay, so y is 3. So 3 equals negative 3 over 4 times negative 4 plus b, okay? So as you notice, we have negative 3 times negative 4, positive 12, divided by 4, which is equal to 3. Okay, and it's just going to be positive 3. Okay, when you take the 3 over here, it's going to be 3 minus 3, which is equal to 0. Okay. Oh, let's put equals to b. Okay, and what I meant is b equals to 0. Okay, so it's just like this. Okay. And if you want the final equation, this is the equation again of the diameter. But it can also be the equation of a chord, okay? A chord is basically any line that is just going from one end of the circle to the other end. Okay, so we're going to write the equation here. There's going to be y equals your m value, negative 3 over 4x. Okay, plus b. And the b value is 0 here. So I'm just going to leave that as my final answer. Okay, does everyone see how to do that? Okay, so that looks good. Okay, let's try also the equation of the circle here. Okay, so say I'm doing the equation for this circle. Okay, so what we're going to do here is let's find the midpoint. So I'm going to put midpoint of AB. Okay, so again, we're just going to add the x points together, okay, which is up here. And then we're going to divide it by 2. So let's do that here. So negative 4 plus 4 divided by 2. Add the y points together as well. So 3 plus negative 3 divided by 2. Okay, and we can see the midpoint here is just going to be 0 over 2 and 0 over 2. So the midpoint looks like it's the origin. Okay, at 0, 0. Does everyone see that? Okay, so I am going to use the midpoint, okay? And let's use point A here. And we are going to do the radius, okay? And the length of the radius here. Okay, so let's do distance, okay? And I'm going to use A and M, okay? Which is the midpoint. Okay, and we're just going to plug in the values one more time, okay? So the A point is like right here. It's negative 4 and 3. And this is my M point, okay? So I'll just put x2, y2. Okay, again, we're going to plug it into the formula for length squared and then y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, and again, when you plug it in, okay, just make sure you're watching, make sure you're putting in the proper values, okay? So the x2 we're going to use as 0. So 0 minus negative 4 squared. And the same thing for y2, it's 0. Okay, so 0 minus 3 squared, okay? You notice when it's whole squared, the actual value will just become positive, okay? And so over here, we're going to have basically positive 4 squared, so 16 plus negative 3 whole squared, which is 9. Does everyone see that? Okay, make sure you are very comfortable, okay, using these formulas because they're very important. Okay, I'm going to add the two numbers together. So 16 plus 9, square root 25, which is equal to 5. Okay, and this is basically what the radius is. Okay, and what we're looking for here is going to be the equation of this circle. Okay, because I have the radius already, I'm going to put it into my formula for the circle. So x squared plus y squared equals r squared, which is 5 squared. Okay, again, don't leave this as your final answer. Okay, my final answer should be squared. So we're going to put x squared plus y squared is equal, okay, to 25. And that's my final answer, okay? So again, remember, because I do have the endpoints here of the diameter, which we were given at the very beginning, I can actually just use the length formula directly and find the length of the diameter and then just divide it by 2, okay? You can use both methods here, and you'll notice that for the radius, I'll still get the answer as 5. All right? Okay, so that looks good. All right, and if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone next time. Thanks, bye.